The first and most important thing I think at this point is to commend you for coverage, because if not but for the coverage, I'm not sure that we would have moved as expeditiously as we have to try to get some of these things corrected that still have not been totally corrected. I had an opportunity today to meet with persons from an association. This is and I have it here to make sure that I have it correct, the National Association of Postal Supervisors. These persons are intimately familiar with what's going on, and they shared a good deal of knowledge with me. Here are some of the things that they explained to me, that this process of delivering for America is a plan that has been touted as being the thing to help the post office get sustainable and to help it move the mail effectively. Unfortunately, it has not done what was thought to be the most essential part of it, and that is deliver the mail timely. Well, apparently, in the process of implementing the plan, there was a need to bring in new equipment. The new equipment is something that is supposed to downsize the number of people needed because it's supposed to do much more with fewer people. This new equipment was very large and does not seem to fit the building that is on the north side. The equipment is too large for the plant, it seems. So they're having to make some adjustments. I'm not sure whether that means that they will downsize the equipment or enlarge the plant, but they're having to make some adjustments. In the process of doing this, they sent workers who were at the north side to other locations. These workers were not available to immediately return and help with the deliveries on the north side. As a result, they're bringing in the 23 persons that I spoke to the press about earlier, and the 10 persons who are known as plant managers. This is supposed to help with the process. But it really boils down to this, based on what I've been told: very poor planning. And as a result of poor planning, not being able to execute properly. And as a result of not being able to execute properly, having mail stack up, pile up, backlog to the extent that not only is it being delayed for days, but in too many cases for weeks. This is why we're seeing all of these deliveries that are not timely and not being given a timeline as to when they will be delivered. And that's because I'm not sure anybody knows, to be quite frank with you now, but hopefully we'll get more information. Again, I don't speak for the USPS, the United States Postal Service. They should be giving this interview. They should be able to answer your follow-up questions. I do the best that I can by finding out things from other persons who have the knowledge and passing it on to the public. But in the final analysis, we have to resolve this problem with delivery, but we also have to resolve the problem of transparency. The United States Postal Service is a business that handles the property of the public, and they have to handle it efficaciously. And to do that, they're going to have to give us timely deliveries, and they're going to have to give us appropriate deliveries. But they're also going to have to tell us why they can't do this when that's not possible. It's not asking too much for the Postal Service to have sent out a notice indicating to people, we are going to be doing some upgrading. We're going to give you a better delivery in the long run, but we will have some problems. And when they encounter these problems, it's not asking too much for them to come before the public and explain what the problems are and help us to better understand why we should be patient. I think we can be patient, but only when we understand the nature of the problem. So we have to deal with their transparency, the lack thereof, and we have to deal with the delivery. Both things are important, especially now that we are approaching the tax season, as well as the elections that are coming up in the month of March. These two things are going to put on an additional amount of mail into the system, and I hope that they'll be ready to receive all of this mail. I still plan to tour the plant. I talked to Congresswoman Garcia today. She has been with me every step of the way, and we plan to tour that plant. We'd like to do it as soon as possible. We have schedules and that we have to be here. There are many things in Congress we have to deal with, but we want to tour the plant. And if for some reason we cannot tour the plant, not because of scheduling, but because they decide that they're not going to have that level of transparency, then I think we are pushed to a point where we have to ask for a hearing so that all of this can be made public. There's just too much that has not been made public that the public should be aware of. Transparency as well as delivery, these are the issues of concern.